Well, Ryan Parr, welcome to the Burnt Bridge podcast.
Pleasure to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
This is crazy, actually.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it so crazy? Are you just really proud of me?
Very proud, yeah.
Thanks so much.
I'm kind of upset that I'm the second guest and not the first.
Well, I mean, we had to keep people interested. That was the purpose. I couldn't just start with the best guest.
Touche, yeah.
And then it all goes down from there. Ryan is my good friend that I met in treatment in 2022. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the year?
May.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plaquemine, Louisiana's very own.
That's right.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Ryan, turn your fucking phone off. How rude.
We have to cut that out, right?
No, I think we should keep it so people know who you really
I mean,
are.
I'm a busy guy, you know?
You're a busy guy, and a lot of people need to hear from you, and I get it. Ryan, how the hell are you? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I'm good. Life's really good, you know? I work in treatment. I have 13 months sober.
Wow. You hit a year?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
In May.
What
longest,
day?
The 11th. Close to your birthday.
It is close to my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have 13 months sober. This is the longest I've ever had by far. I think the longest I've had was before this was like 6 months or something. And even in that 6 months, I drank once at like 4 months and just didn't tell anybody. So it's really like probably 4 months, honestly, the longest. I drank at my grandmother's funeral.
As you do.
Yeah, everybody was like, yeah, one for Grand Nancy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I have a good job. I live in a good sober house. I'm the manager of the sober house at Grizzly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, stuff is good. I just wish it would just happen a little faster.
It's always your problem.
Yeah.
Literally, I've heard that from you for 3 years.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's good. I have no complaints.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, good.
How are
I'm
you?
glad. I'm doing great.
Yeah. You're looking pretty good.
I mean, things are really just, happening all around. Strange. I haven't seen any fruit from these trees yet, but it's all a part of the process. And
For sure.
That's what matters. I wanted to tell the story of how we met and talk a little bit about our treatment experience together.
Okay.
I honestly forget so much about that treatment time, but it seems like it was such an important part of my life, considering it was when I got sober this time. But I remember you coming in, because you came in later than me, and you were so, literally you would not speak for a little while. And you were a real, tough cookie to crack, and I love a project. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to be his friend for sure. And then I think I slowly just chipped away at your exterior for a while. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, I mean, that's whenever I go to treatment, I'm pretty much at the bottom, right? And so whenever I finally start coming to and, start coming back to life, I'm just remembering everything that was happening, so I'm just I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to talk. I'm just not thrilled about life,
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've been like that my whole life. If you want to know me, come talk to me. I'm not one to go out there and, put myself out there.
It's so interesting because you're so outgoing when you know you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, once I warm up to you and stuff, once I like this person or whatever, I'm pretty easygoing. But people have told me that my whole life, I can't figure this guy out, who, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, you're just a mysterious guy.
Yeah, I'm a mysterious guy.
At the end of the day, and we all know that about you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite memory from our treatment? Keeping anonymity for others, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And also tell everyone what number of treatment that was for you.
That one? Mm-hmm. That one was probably number 16.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That sounds right.
Because at this point, I went to 20. Last year was number 20.
20. Lucky number 20. That's what they say.
Yeah. 20 times a charm. So, our best memory when we were in treatment together.
I have a few.
Help me out.
I have the one where the kid broke the ceiling fan with a chair. Remember when he threw the chair at the ceiling fan?
Oh, Jarrett. Oh,
You can't say that. We'll bleep it.
Yeah, I didn't say last name.
Yeah, whatever his name was. He was so young, and he threw the chair at the ceiling fan.
Yeah, that was J-Ron. Yeah. What about old? You know who I'm talking about? Bigger guy. I said that was your brother.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah, and then the mental health police showed up.
That's right.
And because he was, I guess, said, "Oh, I'm, gonna kill myself" or something like that. And so he alerted the staff. They called the mental health police. He thought it was the regular police, and he's in like psychosis. And he just starts hauling ass in the field in the back, and they're chasing him. Do you remember that?
I do, but I had completely forgotten about that part.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like, yeah, I mean, there's always something crazy happening in treatment, like something funny, like just wild that anybody else would be like, what the fuck is going on over
Yeah.
here?
I mean, truly, like, if, HIPAA wasn't a thing, I think it would be such a good show.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, good reality
Because
show.
everyone is at their absolute worst and craziest when you're in treatment.
Yeah, everybody's just raw, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
feeling emotions for the first time, don't know what to do with them. So they just come out,
Yeah, and then people just start dating in there. People
Yeah.
go crazy. I also remember when we all set off the fire alarms with our vapes
Twice.
multiple times. They
Yeah,
were
like
so
3:00
mad.
in the morning. Yeah, I wasn't happy because I think I was detoxing or something at that point, or had just got there. It was like my first night there or something. And yeah, and they're not quiet. And the
Yeah.
alarms are
And everybody's got to line up outside.
wait for the fire department to come.
Yeah, they were sick of us.
Yeah.
I drove past. What part of that do you work in? Res?
I work at the IOP.
IOP. Where's
Yeah.
IOP now? Same place?
Yeah, we're PHP, IOP.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Where they do sober sessions and everything.
Is that what phase of treatment you would want to work in?
So I started out doing the PHP, working there.
Like at the houses and stuff?
Yeah, at the houses, and they come there during the day. And that's pretty cool because, like, for the most part, everybody's like past their detoxing, past their like trying to figure shit out. They've been sober for at least 30 days, so they're kind of like halfway back to being a normal person.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to deal with, in regards to that. But what I'm doing now, I work at IOP, so I only work 3 days a week, which that's
amazing.
bad, yeah. But everybody, you kind of watch the transition, you know what I mean? Like people coming out and then going to IOP and like they're getting jobs again and, working a program of recovery and like just life starts to like, happen for them again. So that's pretty cool. You kind of watch them from that process of like having nothing, just getting out of treatment to like, okay, hey, I got a job. Hey, got a car.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I like it.
I never finished an IOP program. Tricky. I got kicked out the last one.
Yeah.
They said, bye, girl. But you know what? I stayed sober.
That's good.
And that's what matters.
I mean, you don't need IOP.
That's what they say as a person who works at IOP.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, would you feel comfortable to share a little bit of your story with our listeners?
Sure. What about it?
Just however much or little you would love to share. I just think you have a really interesting story, and I like a fellow person from the South telling their experience.
Okay, brother.
All right, brother.
Sure. So I mean, I'm from Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Plaquemine, Louisiana, to be more specific. Grew up there my whole life for the most part. My mom and dad split up when I was young. Oh my god!
You can move it like however you want. There's got multiple arms. You can twist it around.
I'll figure it out.
You can go like this.
Okay, that's good right there. So yeah, parents separated when I was young. I lived with my mom and my stepdad growing up. They got married when I was like 3, and they're still married to this day. So my stepdad was like primarily my main male figure in my life. My dad was in my life, but he lived in Houston, which is like 4 hours away. So every other weekend, I kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Growing up, pretty normal childhood for the most part. I did experience some like sexual child abuse when I was like 4. So that's not really normal. I guess I didn't have a normal childhood.
I would say it's not so.
So yeah, that happened. With my babysitter, it was her son who was like probably, he was early teens. And so yeah, that happened. And I never talked about any of that. Just grew up and was a really good student. I played football, sports, really good student. I didn't have to ever study, like just everything that I put my mind to when I was younger, like I was able to achieve, good grades, pretty good at sports. Just a, a good person or whatever. Mm-hmm. Didn't do any drugs, no drugs in high school. I drank in high school, like, normal drinking on the weekends, stuff like that. The very first time I smoked weed was the day before I graduated high school. And didn't touch it again for like a year after that. Like went to college. And then when I started smoking weed like a year into college, and just like that became my thing. Mm-hmm. Just went from 0 to 100 real quick on marijuana. Got kicked out of LSU. Got in trouble stealing from work. Just for weed.
Yeah.
Okay. So people who say that weed is not addictive, they're lying. Mm-hmm. Like I can do it. I can do anything addictively. So yeah, kind of mellowed out a little bit on the weed in college, and did some other drugs. Just kind of mellowed around. Got back into school. Finished school, and my very first job out of school, I had to take a drug test for it. And back then, 2000, I guess it was 2012, like fake pee and stuff wasn't like that easy. Couldn't come by it that easy back then.
Couldn't get a fake pee plug.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck, I can't quit smoking weed. I can't quit smoking weed. I don't know what I'm going to do. And this guy I worked with, I worked at a hardware store for 4 years at Ace Hardware, mm-hmm. Bayou Road Lumber. Shout out. And I worked with this older black guy, and he had diabetes real bad and stuff like that, and he was prescribed pain pills. And I remember when I was like trying to get off of weed, it was hard. I mean, I'm glad, but it was hard. Like I could not stop smoking weed. Yeah. Couldn't do it. Which is crazy because like now and like later on in my addiction, like I hate weed. Yeah. Like I can't smoke weed because it'll fucking drive me apeshit, So this guy, he has pain pills. He's like, oh yeah. So I took a couple of pain pills. I'm like, like these are good. I don't feel like I need to smoke weed. I feel good. I don't need to smoke weed when I'm on this.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I'll just take them for a week or so, just to get me off of the weed. Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't the case. We experienced a lot of pain and hardship from that week of doing pain pills. So that started the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it was for a job. I had my job for a while after college. Got into some trouble at work. And slowly other substances started coming into play. Meth came in when I was like 25. Mm-hmm. That's like the first time I started messing with it. Started doing, harder pain pills. And then lost my job. My parents, like I said, my dad lived in Houston, and I was staying with my mom in Louisiana. She's like, we don't know what to do with you. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to go stay with your daddy in Houston.
I love your mom.
Yeah, me too. And so I moved to Texas, and then that's when shit really like got bad. That's when started introducing needles and heroin and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so Texas is like really where I really like. They thought it was gonna get me better, and I just yeah. So yeah, I came to Austin in 2019 or 2017 first, and I experienced a lot of, since I've been like in sobriety, like trying to get sober and stuff for the last 10 years. I experienced a lot of loss of like friends and loss of people close to me. Whereas like my whole life for 27 years, I had never experienced like people close to me dying or like anything like that. And then within like 2 or 3 years, like all these people are dying like that I've met in treatment, because I'm in and out of treatment, meeting all these people, good friends, and they're like dying. I'm like, what the like, it was just new to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know like what real drug addiction was until you go to treatment, So, and I would go to treatment, and he'd be hearing stories about like stuff I haven't done yet, like the needles and stuff before I was a needle user. And I'm like, ooh, that's, like, So that played a part in it, because you're like, I'm a, pill snorter and talking to a needle user, I want to be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I use needles too, which is such a weird flex, you know what I mean? But I don't know. That's where I was. Like I had to experience everything, and I've been like that my whole life. Like you can tell me, don't do this, don't do that. You're gonna get in trouble. Like don't do that. I got to do it for myself and find out for myself that I can't do that. I am the world's most hard-headed motherfucker.
We do know this.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I experienced a lot of hardships. That I probably wouldn't have if I would have listened to my mom when she said, don't drink, So yeah, where was I at?
Moved to Austin.
I was back and forth from Austin to Houston for a little while, getting sober, and was homeless in Austin. Two of my good friends passed away. And I came back to Austin in 2019 for the last time. I've been here since 2019 this time, and went to treatment and met a lady.
As you do.
Yeah. And, 9 months later, we had a little rehab baby. He's 5 years old now. Yeah, so I had a rehab relationship, romance that lasted 3.5 years. And that, started out good. It had its good moments and its bad moments. But like I said, we met in treatment. So we were both addicts and alcohol, and that just doesn't go well, my mind wanted to tell, oh, this is a great idea. Like, funny story, the first time me and her hung out after we got outside of treatment, because she had left, she had AMA'd before I left. So she was out doing her thing until I got out. When I got out, our first time hanging out, she got out the psych ward the same day. She had like bruises and shit from the police officers. And we just, hey, like, yeah, this is the one, And boy,
Yeah.
you live and learn. But yeah, so I had a child. That was a big struggle. Like once you have a child, or once I knew that I was having a child, the pressure just like was put on. And I don't do very well under that type of pressure. And then when I had him, the pressure was even greater, right? Like just this pressure of being a good dad and like being a present dad. And I fucked it up. There's like, I said whenever he gets here, I'm going to get sober. When I get here, I'm going to get sober. Because I won't want to use anymore. I won't have a reason to use or get high, if I have a child in the world. And that didn't do it. And my parents, my family couldn't understand that, like, especially my stepdad, like, you have a child, like, you need to man up. And I just couldn't. And I didn't know why, like, I thought it was like, because I'm incapable of being a man, in some people's eyes, like, you don't take care of your family. But in the reality, like, I just struggled with this fucking disease where I don't have a choice whether I, leave him and my son's mother in the hotel, in the apartment by themselves for a week.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that, the power to not do that. So yeah, after having a child, it was like, that's when, like, this stuff started, like, really, just affecting me as a person, because I always said, like, I wouldn't be that type of dad or whatever. So it was hard, it was hard, and it's still tough. I'm still mending those relationships. He's still young, but, like, he's getting older now. He's 5, so he's kind of starting to, like, where's dad, because he lives out of state. I can't see him as much as I'd like to, but yeah. But I'm getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's happy that I'm doing well, and yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of crazy stories in there, that I left out, but that's yeah. My life is pretty similar to any other drug addict, alcoholic. I've got a bunch of crazy stories. Yeah, it's but I'm very grateful to be 13 months sober. I honestly, like, in my mind, like, this is my last shot that I was gonna give myself. Like, this time going to treatment, I'm like, I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work, like, fuck it. This is me. This is me. But I'm glad I gave myself the last shot and, like, put up my all into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, oh, well, what was different this time? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the one and only thing that I can say that I did differently this time than any other time is, like, committed to doing all the work.
Yeah.
I had never done that before. I'd dance around and pick apart the program and do what I wanted to do. And, but yeah, I just did it this time. I just committed and did it and did everything that was suggested. And now, like, times in the past, I wouldn't stay sober long enough to, like, get a life that's worth,
Yeah.
So, like, I get out of treatment. I'm 30, 45 days sober. It's like, I didn't acquire anything in these 45 days. So I'm going to go, why not go fuck it up? Like, I'm not going to lose anything. Whereas, like, now, like, I've built a life. I have, somewhat of a life. And it's like, I'm not willing to give that up. So I think, like, acquiring things and, like, it makes it a little harder to, like, go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if I were to go use right now, my life would just be, torn to pieces. And I've used before when that were the case, but, I'm just not willing to give it up today.
Yeah. I think that's, like, the hardest thing to explain, because I also don't really know how to answer the question, like, what was different this time. I think it was just a combination of a lot of things at the same time happening. But I also, like, I had the same mentality where I was like, I actually, like, just can't, because my story, I feel like, was really packed into, like, 3 really shit years. And I was literally from January to April of 2022, I went to detox 4 times.
Yeah.
That is not a long time to go 4 times. And I mean, to the point where the director of that detox was like, you actually can't keep coming here. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're banned. Sorry.
And I think I was just like, I honestly am just going to try to do everything that everybody says. And then if it doesn't work, like, I'm literally just going to kill myself. Like, because I can't keep doing this. It's fucking terrible. And I think I'm going to die anyways, but it's not going to be like, and I am so into control that I was like, I'm not going to be able to control how I die. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do everything they say, give it a real good college try. And then if it doesn't work out, there's always that option.
This is me, yeah.
And then it turns out that if you do what they say and you actually do it,
I don't know what happens.
It's
you know
so
what I mean?
annoying,
And like,
honestly.
'cause I'm hard headed, right? As we were talking about, and like I have to figure it out. I like, I can go to meetings and like identify one or two people, but like I'm different. Like I'm that special case that like I can figure this shit out on my own.
Well, and I think I think that's why I always like really gravitated towards you, is because we had similar stories in the regard that like we were both good students, we both went to college, we both like I had the mentality as well that anything I've ever wanted to do, I was able to achieve.
Yeah.
Because of, any number of circumstances, privilege, whatever, and the fact that I've always been like pretty smart.
Yeah.
And so I thought that I could also outsmart the program, the disease. Like I thought that I was genuinely different in a way that made me worse and also better than everyone else. Like I was
Yeah.
like, my disease is worse, but I am better. Therefore, it's going to be different for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was under the delusional thinking that I kept using and relapsing because I just wanted to. You know what I mean? Like I am making the conscious decision because I enjoy it. I'm just, I'm just not ready to quit.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't tell me that I was doing it because I didn't have a choice and like, this is a disease or whatever. So yeah, overcoming that part of it and being like, no, motherfucker, like you quit, you keep doing this because like something has power over you, which is hard to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need help. So I don't know. I think the 12 steps and everything like that, I think I knew it would work for me way longer or way earlier than when I started to actually try to do them this time. Like I knew that they would work years ago, but I guess I just wasn't ready to stop. Like I knew that if I did them properly, I probably wasn't going to be using and drinking anymore.
Yeah. And I think I remember a lot of conversations that we've had where you have the same thing as me, where it's honestly terrifying to be in a good place because that means that at any moment, like when I was in my addiction, I was the one who was making the bad things happen. And that illusion of control was somehow like soothing to me. But when I like give myself a chance and like actively work a program and like do what I'm supposed to be doing, my life goes well. And then I'm just exposed to the elements of whatever could happen to bring me down. That's not myself. And that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Say that last part again?
What did I say?
I don't know. I was thinking about something else.
Oh, so you weren't listening.
I was listening, but
Basically just that like I used to self-sabotage because that was me making like bad things happen.
Right.
But when I don't do that, then and I do the right thing and my life is good, then any number of things can happen to make it bad and they're not in my control, and that freaks me out.
yeah, control. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember a few times you saying that, where like I think it was like one of the last times we talked before this time, where you were like, things are just going really well and I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like so for right now, for instance, like things are going really good, because I'm not comfortable with it because things haven't went well for me in a long time.
Yeah.
The only things that have happened to me have been like pretty bad, or just
Yeah.
not so pleasant, or mediocre at best. Things happening. So kind of like with everything else, experiencing new things in sobriety, like experiencing these good things. Well, number one, I don't deserve it. Number two, like this has got to be too good to be true. Number three, like, okay, this good thing's happening, but like something shitty's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's just might have been my experience, and like just sitting with all that shit now, like the good stuff that's coming, and like being open to the idea that like I'm actually living good, so good things are happening, and like I deserve these things, is new for me as well. Like that's kind of a new attitude, just like being accepting of these good things.
Yeah.
Because like deep down, like I suffer with entitlement and like better than So like in my head, like, yeah, I know I deserve, but like also in my head, like I don't. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I'm entitled and like better than, but like at the same time, like worse than everybody else, and like I don't know what you call that.
I talk about this a lot with my sponsor. It's like this sliding scale of self where it's like I'm either in self-pity or like complete obsession with myself. Like
Yeah.
it's one or the other. I'm never in a healthy middle ground. And I think that when I'm in self-pity, I'm like being humble and like I think that that's good.
Right.
But it's still equally as selfish as when I think I'm better than everyone else.
Right.
Because I'm still literally only thinking about myself and how life has been so hard for me and no one understands.
Yeah, misunderstood. Yeah, I mean,
I'm so misunderstood.
for sure.
My sponsor told me literally this week, she was like, you surrounding yourself with normies constantly keeps you in a place where you feel like the special one. She was like, go back and hang out with some alcoholics and you'll realize that you're not fucking special.
Yeah, I haven't seen any meetings lately.
I went to 2 meetings this week, so
Oh.
thank you very much.
Okay. I've only been to one, so.
Well, who's more recovered?
Yeah, that's a good point because and that can happen like the scale in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just depends on like the situation where I'm at, who I'm talking to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm talking to somebody who has like a nice truck, because I don't have a vehicle right now. That's like my next thing. And so like anybody that has a car and I watch them get in their car, you know what I mean? Like I could be at HEB and just watch somebody just get into their car. I'm just like, motherfucker, like, like, oh, my life sucks. But then I leave HEB and I go to like this big, beautiful house that I live in and have the front code to the door. And I'm like, oh, it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
And then I see Billy, who just got out of his car at my house, and I'm like, fuck that man. It's just like always.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to learn to like just be cool. Like I talked to my therapist yesterday, and she's like this is just God like really testing you, right? Because like this is when you start feeling like this is about the time you kind of get kind of squirrely and wonky, and I've definitely been feeling that lately. Because like I'm 13 months sober, like I should have more than what I have. I feel like, but yeah, it's just God's way of testing me. Like what He's teaching me, everything's gonna come. Everything that I have now, I was praying for 13 months ago.
Genuinely.
And I'm so grateful. But at the end of the day, like someday it's just like, God, this ain't enough.
Yeah.
Like come on, I want more. And that's just crazy thinking to me, but I do it. It's hard to not do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I always want more. And I think what I'm learning right now is I definitely have gotten to a place of like I just forgot that alcoholism is also the way that I think. Like it's the way that I am. It's not like I don't have active cravings anymore. Like I'm not ever thinking about booze. And I think I got to a place where I'm like, cool, mission accomplished. Everything's good. But then, my sponsor this week, she was like, so how much of your life are you like actively trying to control in every single way? I was like, that it's going to be everything.
Yeah.
It's going to 100% be everything. And I think that's like so important for us to remember is like, this disease is the way we think.
Yeah.
The substances were just the response to that. And that's why it's so fucking refreshing to talk to someone else who thinks the same way, because you don't feel like different and special and wrong and bad because someone else is experiencing the same, like, just constant fucking rapid thoughts and need to control, but not being able to control, and that being so uncomfortable. And that, we can be like that when we're not using and drinking too. And it's equally as miserable.
Yeah. And also live under the delusion that if I were in control of everything, that everything would be perfect.
Yeah.
When clearly my experiences showed me that like when I'm in control, it's the complete opposite of perfect. But still, 3 years sober, 13 months sober, like my brain still tells me like, if only if I had control, I'd be a great, control guy,
And if everybody could just know what I wanted from them at all times, I
Yeah.
would love that. Because I think that's the biggest thing, too, is like interpersonal relationships. It's like no matter how hard you try to control your side and what you can do, there's another person who is a complete like independent variable that can really throw a wrench into that. And then I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And I don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
And
Real quick.
fuck you
with
for
the
that.
quickness. Yeah.
It's just kind of like I've been thinking a lot recently about what the disease of alcoholism is without alcohol. And I think that I suffer from that a lot. And that's what fucking happens when you don't work a program actively. I have some questions for you, Ryan,
Sure.
that I would love to hear the answers to.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Was there a moment in your life when you like I have a moment in college when I remember turning to someone at 5 a.m. after doing some recreational substances post drinking, and I said, I'm the type of person who's going to have to stop drinking one day. And like I just had a moment where I was like, I know that that's what's going to happen one day. I thought it was going to be when I was like 40, but and I just like I always think about that as like I knew before I even really knew what that meant. Do you have a moment like that when you realize like, oh fuck, it's already happened, this is really bad?
I was actually thinking about this earlier, yesterday or something. It was so I remember I had just graduated from college and I had started taking the pain pills, and this was when it was still fun and like I'm feeling good
At the hardware store?
at the hardware store. Yeah, and I'm it's summer. It's the summer, right? So and I haven't started my job yet, and but it's like coming. And I think I passed my drug test, so I'm like, I'm good, and I'm still on the pills, right? And I remember the first day, because for some reason we had a steady supply for a while, and then I remember the first day that we couldn't get any, and that I was dope sick. I was experiencing withdrawals, and I didn't know what it was at first, because I had never felt that. I had never felt that whatever. And at that moment, I kind of knew that like I was fucked, because I had always heard about this, and like no part of me wanted to stop using them because of this sickness. Like I have to get more because I feel this way. So I think that was like the first like in the field realization that like I'm fucked. Other than that, though, like I think after my first time in treatment, and like learning about the disease and how it works and the brain and the reward system, I'm like, this is I relate to this all, and no part of me at this point wanted to stop.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to have a long, hard road ahead of me. And like I was preparing myself for it, because in my mind, like I wanted to be, I didn't want to be the guy who went to treatment 20 times, but like, I've always wanted to be a center of attention. Like I've always wanted people to like me. I've always, enjoyed telling stories. And so like I wanted good stories. So in my mind, as crazy as it sounds, like I got out of rehab the first time and was like, I gotta go do some more. Like I gotta go get some more stuff to tell in rehab the next time,
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but like I don't know. That's how I felt. Like I enjoyed doing drugs, and in the beginning, right, enjoyed like the lifestyle, all the shenanigans. Like I enjoyed that stuff.
Yeah.
And my mind still wants to remind me of only those good times, whenever I'm like craving or thinking about them, like, it doesn't remind me of the bad stuff usually. But, yeah, I think that's probably whenever I knew like I got a long, hard road ahead of me. Cause like I'm smart. I still have my job. Like I still have my truck. And then every time I went to treatment, I lost something, you know what I mean? Slowly. Thank God for my family, like they wouldn't let me get too far down
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they would let me suffer, but I don't know. I'm just grateful to have a family that, you know, helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many moments like that I just kept having them. I just kept having new ones. And I was like, I thought last time was good enough, but turns out I had to have another one.
Yeah.
And just like the moments of, like, I remember one time waking up on my parents' floor with like literally so many tiny bottles of wine empty, like around me. Mind you, it's 2 p.m. And this is like a month after I got out of my first detox. And my mom's like standing over me, and I've just like passed out during the day. I climbed out the window to meet the fucking DoorDash driver like down the street, so that
He was delivering alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Climbed back in the window, drank all the bottles of wine, passed out on the floor, and then I wake up and like I didn't know what, like I had just been to detox, and so like for the first time, and I was like, I'm so confused about what just took place. Like I wasn't gonna do this again.
Right.
And then here I am literally on the ground. And I remember thinking like, this is so terrible because I know that this is really bad and this is what they tell you about. And also how could I ever fucking live without this?
Yeah.
And like that moment where it's truly like, I can't do this with it. I can't do it without it. Yeah. What the fuck am I going to do?
Jumping off place.
I honestly wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Yeah. Fucking terrible, because you don't know. And I think the thing with alcoholism too is that we all feel so unique from everyone else. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I see these people who have gotten sober and they say like, literally it was a podcast that was the first time I ever heard someone be sober. And like, I believed that they were actually having fun. Like all the people that came and did an H&I, I was like, you're full of shit. Yeah. You're either drunk right now, you're about to be drunk, or you actually weren't an alcoholic.
Or they're paying you.
Yeah. I really didn't believe them. And that's the problem, is I thought I was like, you always think you're different in some way. And so therefore the things aren't going to work for you, and sobriety is going to suck worse for you than it does for other people.
Yeah. And that kind of brings up a good point too. I think we touched on it earlier, is like, I use like I'm a smart guy. Mm-hmm. That was my thing. I'm smart. Mm-hmm. I have a college degree. I use that to constantly tell myself that I can figure this out, because like I'm a smart guy, you know. But I ain't that smart. No. You come to find out, you know.
And I also wanted to say something about you, is that like ever since I met you, you have always like expressed how much you care for your family and for your son. And I think like that's, you know, you were mentioning how it's so fucking impossible for a normal person to understand that like the love you can have for someone else is not, it just can't be used against this disease. Which I think is important to say, because I remember moments where like my grandpa was dying and my mom is so sad because she's losing her dad. And I was in active addiction, and, you know, my siblings are calling me like, you have to, like, I had run away, of course. Yeah. I was in Oklahoma, of course. And they were like, you have to fucking come back. Like, she's dealing with this and you are adding so much like to this whole situation, and like, you don't have to do this. And I remember like my whole life, I've cared so much specifically about my mother. Like, I love her so much. And I just remember like being so in it that it was almost like I had a moment where I was like, am I a sociopath now? Because I used to care so much and I have no capacity to care right now, because like I just need to have this thing and I don't know how else to explain it. And it's like, that sounds so fucking terrible when you say it to a person who's never experienced it. But any addict or alcoholic hearing that story, like, I think completely understands that it's not even like, there is no logic, there is no rationale. It is like 100% a survival thing, and it is number one on that list. And I just think like, knowing you in sobriety, like, you're one of the funniest, most caring people in so many ways. And, you know, it's knowing any of us in sobriety and any of us in our addiction, we are just not the fucking same person.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times like people said, I can't imagine you being there's no way you were, you know, doing this and that. It's like, I know it doesn't seem like it now, but like give me a little bolo and, but yeah, the love of our family, of our mothers, of our children will not keep us sober. You know, I'll share a story. So I went to treatment like 3 months, 2.5 months before my son was born, as like, okay, I'm getting sober before, this is it. I'm getting sober before he gets here. And I end up leaving. This was 3 months before she was supposed to give birth. Okay. Treatment is a month. Okay. So I'm in treatment.
You went too early.
Yeah, I left after 2 weeks. I'm like, she's about to go in any minute. I gotta go. I'm committing to 2 weeks. She's about to go, and she's like at home, like eating. Got 2 months left, and so I left early, and I relapsed the same day, and I kept telling myself like, okay, like cool, whatever, like. Whenever he gets here, I'm gonna stop using though. Like as soon as he gets here, that I'm done. And we go to the hospital, month and a half, 2 months, whatever later. And he's like in a weird spot or something. I don't know, but she's in labor for like almost 24 hours. Damn. So I had a lot of time to like not, you know what I mean? Like I gotta go get something to eat. I gotta go, I'm in and out. My mom's flying in from Louisiana. And so I'm like, oh, I got, something for it. Because once my mom gets there, like all that shit, she's going to cut all that shit out. So I'm like in and out to the drug dealer's house, back, because it's right there. And I'm like, it's perfect spot for the hospital. It's like right there. I racked up so much parking garage, take in and out, you know what I mean? But anyway, in my mind, the day of us giving birth, he's soon to be here. He's not here yet, so I'm good. I'm still good to use. Yeah. Because he's not here yet. I said, when he gets here, I'll stop. Yeah. That's what I'm telling myself. And, oh, man, my mom's there. We're in, like, the birthing room or whatever, and she's on the birthing table, and she's, like, out of it. She's like, where are you going? And I'm just like, oh, I'm going, and she's like, okay. And my mom's there, and a needle falls out of my pocket in the room, right? Rough. And my mom just she what can she say? She's just like, and he comes, and the desire to use did not go anywhere. Yeah. If anything, it was more. Yeah. Like, oh my God, now I have I just got to use one more time. Then it'll like, and the first 6 months, 5-6 months of his life, I was just out of there. Just stressed, like I wasn't working really. COVID. COVID started in March of 2020. He was born in February 2020. So we're at the house with a 1 month old. Both of us are off of work. Getting money from unemployment, good money. Oh,
great money.
A lot of money to buy stuff. And we're just stuck in the house with each other, both using, she's drinking, just very toxic environment. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just a story of like a pure example of like, it don't matter. You can put whatever to say, the frothy emotional appeal. It's not going to beat that power of like the physical allergy and the mental obsession. Like it's there and it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah.
And that I think the mental obsession piece is also so important to mention, because I think people, like, I know for me before I got sober, I was like, okay, well then why can you stay sober like sometimes, and like it works sometimes? And it's like, because it's not really about it. It can't be about that, because it doesn't work. It has to be about you personally. Like, I think I had to switch my mentality from this is a punishment. Sobriety is a punishment for being an addict. Yeah. To like, I'm the one who's genuinely suffering the most. What if I made a different choice for myself? Yeah. Because I fucking thought life was punishing me, and I was like, I have to fucking be sober and not do the one thing I fucking want to do most in the world, because all you bitches are watching me.
Damn,
and I can't do it.
That's so funny because like now I think about, that's exactly how I felt. Like my little rehab stints, each one was just like, you're in timeout, you know.
Literally.
And I'm just like, how many days we got, you know, to punishment's over? Yeah, you're grounded. You're going into treatment. Yeah, that's crazy. I felt the exact same way, and as soon as I got out, I'm like, all right, well,
And then you're the one who suffers.
yeah.
That's the craziest part.
But
And then it's like when you can flip the switch of like, oh, I'm punishing myself by going back. The sobriety isn't the punishment. It's the every time I go back, I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah, and every time I go out, I'm ruining my life even more. Yeah, people are losing more and more trust in me. I'm becoming more unreliable. I'm getting in further debt.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Credit got worse. Well, I'm still that credit, man.
That credit, man. Honestly, we should have an exception. I honestly believe that addicts should have it. Here's my 2 hot takes.
I'm in. Yeah, I agree.
An exception for credit scores don't count for us. Second thing, at any given place, a mocktail should be 50% off for someone who is sober because of the fact that they're an alcoholic or an addict. Because why? Tell me why it's just a combination of juice and we're charging similar prices to the actual cocktails. Makes no fucking sense. It's because there's this whole sober movement of people who are getting sober to be healthy, and it's like, that's great. But at the same time, I didn't fucking want to be this way, and I am this way, so I should get a 50% off discount.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, you drink mocktails?
I love a mocktail. I mean, it's literally just juice. I don't like any of the ones that have the fake alcohol in them, though, because it's like, I wasn't drinking this for the flavor.
Right.
Like, why am I doing that? But, like,
Yeah.
if there's, like, an orange juice, cranberry juice, like, seltzer water, I love that. That's so
cool.
fun.
Yeah, I've had mocktails, but I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I agree. I think we should do that.
But the
50%.
credit score, for real.
Yeah, credit score, no lie.
It should not count. Okay, great. If you had to name your high self, like your high alter ego, what name would you give them and why? I'll start. Brian. Every time I drank, I became like a weird
Oh,
little
my
man. Your high self.
Gotcha.
Like, what name would you give them?
Ooh. Yours was Brian?
It's Brian, for sure.
That's kind of crazy. Probably Julio.
Okay. I love it. What?
Uncle Julio.
Uncle Julio. Okay, great. Yeah. What would you wish someone had said to you in your early recovery?
Like early in trying to get sober, like 10 years ago, or early in this stint?
Early 10 years ago.
You know, so I can say like right now, like this period of sobriety has been so, I mean, it has its ups and downs, but it's been easy.
Yeah.
Like it's been so easy. Like every day is not like this, oh my God, you know, like how I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And how in the past it's been. So I wish I knew how easy it would have been back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in my mind right now, I'm like, why didn't I do this 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Like if this is how easy it was, you know, like why didn't I do this 10 years ago? But at the same time, I know that like if I wouldn't have went through, I had to go through all the stuff I went through to get to the point of like, okay, like I'm just going to do whatever you tell me.
Yeah.
So without all this experience, you know, I wouldn't be as helpful to other people or useful. Yeah, I mean, is that an okay answer?
No, that's great.
Or I wish they would have told me like, dude, you're gonna ruin your fucking life if you keep going.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think people did too. I wish I believed it.
Yes.
Back then.
That's the thing is like, I really think that we all have different, you know, scales of what the experience needs to be to get us to that place. And I think, like, I always say, no one ever told me, blah, blah, blah. They fucking did absolutely tell me that. I just wasn't listening.
Yeah, it's scary. My stepdad. I remember like whenever they first started noticing I was having a problem, and right before I went to treatment the first time, my stepdad. He's very like intuitive and he's not like a psychic, but like he knows stuff. Mm-hmm. And he told me he I don't know if I think he wrote the list and like he showed it to me or something. He's like, he's like, boy, you keep going, like this is all the shit that you're gonna lose in order. And it was like job, truck, you know, and I'm like, you know, whatever. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about. And sure enough, like, ding, 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 I just didn't believe him.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm different. Like that happens to other people.
Yeah.
I got my shit figured out. You know, he was right. You know, he was right. Everybody was right about everything.
Everyone was right about everything, for sure.
You know,
it's kind of crazy. What do you have, like, because I always think back to my counselor and the last time saying to me, like, it just hit different when she said, because I asked her, I was like, what is going to be different this time? I fucking keep going to treatment. I get out. I think I'm going to be sober. Then something happens and I'm not sober anymore and whatever. Like, actually, what's going to be different and how can I make it different? And people had told this to me so many times, but just the way she said it and the place I was in, I heard it for the first time where she was like, this is just a time when you never do it again. Like, everybody has that time. And you get to make the decision that this is that time for you. And whatever it takes and whatever you have to do, you'll just keep doing it because you decided that this is the time in your story where you never do it again. And it just like hit me so hard. And every time, like in the first 6 months I was struggling, I just remembered like, no, but I can't ruin it because this is the time in my story where like I'm going to look back and I'm going to say like, and then I never did it again, you know? And I think that really helped me. And I'm wondering if you had anything that like someone said to you that sticks out that you like kind of still hold on to, or like it changed things for you.
Yeah, I mean, I have been told so much stuff over the last, but relating to what you said about like, this is my time now. Yeah, like when I got sober this time, I didn't feel any different than any other time. I was just like, well, we're just, you know, like I committed to myself, like I'm going to try this thing, but like probably ain't going to work. You know? And then somewhere like, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, like I finally had the realization, like, I guess I'm really doing this thing. Like I'm guessing like this is my time to be sober.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like depressing a little bit for me. Because I've never felt that before. Like, I've never felt like, okay, like, I think I might be done, you know, as much as I did not too long ago. I think, I don't know, 9 months or something like that, I was like, I guess this is it. Whenever I started working for where I work now. It's like I started working in treatment. Like, I'm really doing, you know, like, now I have this responsibility on top of, like, personal, like I have this work responsibility, so like I really can't fuck up now. But as far as somebody saying something to me, I wish you would ask me these earlier. I wish I could have thought.
You literally said we're gonna free ball it. That's what you said to me, for the record. I'll let you think about it. I'll ask you another one.
Okay.
For me, I've learned so much about myself in sobriety. Like, I used to think I was really like a socially awkward person, which
You kind of are, yeah.
yeah, thank you so much. But I thought like without drinking I could never like talk to people. I couldn't look people in the eyes. I thought I was like a messy person. I thought I was lazy. Like, I had all these things that I thought about myself that in sobriety I have now realized like aren't true, because I just was not in a good place. And now I know that, like, I talk to people more when I'm out now than I ever did when I was drinking. I'm more comfortable looking people in the eyes now than I ever was when I was drinking, because I had so much shame and I'm not lazy. I fucking work out. I go to my job. I pay my taxes. I do all the things I'm supposed to do in the time that I'm supposed to do them.
Yeah.
And I just so hyper identified with those negative qualities, thinking that that was who I was. And sobriety showed me like new parts of myself, 30 years into my life where I just had no idea before. And I want to know for you, have you found in the last 13 months things about you that you didn't know before?
Yeah. Found out things I didn't know for sure, but also like accepted things about me that I've rejected for so long, and like being okay with them. Yeah, I mean, I always said I hate people. I don't like people. I don't like being around people. But like, I only work 3 days a week right now, and I don't have a car, so I'm at the house a lot. And the guys at the house, they have to be out of the house, and so it's just like me there a lot. And I'm like, God damn, like this sucks. You know what I mean? And like I'm just like like just needing other people. You know what I mean? And like that's crazy to me because like I always looked at myself like a loner and like I don't need people. But like now that I'm alive again, like I need people. I think everybody needs people.
Yeah.
But like I need them a lot. So that's something that's kind of crazy to me that I've come to realize. Also, what was the question again?
Just things that you've learned about yourself in sobriety that you didn't know before.
Oh, gotcha. That somebody so selfish as like myself would want to like help people and be of service as much as I do. Like I've always known like that's part of the program and like giving back and like and I always kind of dreaded that part honestly because I'm super selfish. Like I'm all about me. Like a little greedy, but like having this new life and like having this having had this spiritual awakening, like I want to share that.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. Whereas before, like I was just like, I don't think I can sponsor people. I wouldn't be a good sponsor. Like I don't want to have to share in meetings,
Yeah.
That's another like other attempts at sobriety. Like I didn't share. Like I would just sit in the corner. This guy, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And now like I share in meetings.
Oh.
I don't like to do it, but like I do it because I don't really care what people think anymore. You know what I mean? That's something I struggle with my whole life too. Is like worrying about what everybody thinks of me, and I have to put on this charade my whole life. And now like I don't like yeah, of course I want you to like me. I want to be a likable person. I think I'm a likable person. But like if you don't, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
I like that answer. I think also you've always had that in you because even like, I can't remember specifically, but probably it was in treatment when like they told me that I had to stay longer than I wanted to stay. And I was really having a rough time with that because...
And then didn't we get called in to come, are you wanting to leave or something?
Yeah.
They called in?
Well, I was just mad. Like, I wasn't going to AMA, but I was like, this is fucking bullshit that you guys are making me stay here longer.
Who was it that came in with? Was it...
It was Gabe. Was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a weird person to call in with me, but yeah, it was Gabe. We love you, Gabe.
Yeah, we do. They called Ryan in to convince me that it was okay. Oh, okay. To stay or something. I don't know. And I wouldn't say you were like, emotionally consoling me, but the way that you were making it funny and like just kind of reminded me that like this is all just a fucking, we're just here and we're in rehab and it's fine. And 3 days is going to fucking make a difference.
It's like a simulation. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like what I needed to hear at the time. And I think probably you didn't want to do that, but you did. And like, there was multiple times in treatment where I was upset about various things, of course. And I just remember you like with your like joking. And I think we have like a similar sense of humor. You did, whether you realized you were doing it or not, make me feel better just by making me feel like a human being and not just a person and a number in a bed in a treatment center. So I think you've always had that in you. It's just you're kind of coming into your own about it. And I just want you to know that it's always been there.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always like second guessed myself and like, I'm not doing that a whole bunch anymore. Like I still do. I still do. I'd be lying if I said I didn't, but now it's more like I'm just going with it. We'll see how it turns out. You know?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go into my 2 segments. The first one is your of the week, your rock bottom of the week, and your pink cloud of the week. Okay. So something that is not going great and then something that is going great. I will begin. Okay. My rock bottom of this week is that my sponsor told me that I'm in untreated alcoholism. And I was like, damn. But my pink cloud of the week is that I was told that. And when she sat me down, like after this meeting we went to, I was like, I don't want to fucking hear what she has to say. Like she's going to be judging me and like, for how long it's been since I've been to a meeting and all this shit. And then like, she just clocked my shit so hard. And it was just exactly like, I was like, I haven't even talked to you in months. How do you know exactly what's happening? And it was exactly what I needed to hear to be like, oh yeah, I am literally staying so busy that I don't have a single time to like think about one singular thing. Yeah. And then when I lay down at night, I'm fucking miserable and I wake up and I'm so scared until I can keep so busy that I don't do anything else. So there's like hope because I know exactly what I have to do and I don't have to hit rock bottom again to like just get right back on the path. And I think that's beautiful.
Can I ask you, okay, so now that we have this awareness, are you going to do anything about it?
Oh, yeah, I'm reworking the steps.
Oh, good.
And, yeah, I think I just realized that I had...
I mean, so we reworking the steps, that's great, but that's more of like a long-term deal, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not... What are you doing for, like, daily...
I mean, literally, like getting into all of it. The nightlies. And,
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like fully, because I just realized, like, I truly am just living 100% in self-will. Yeah. And that is not a good place for me to be. And I didn't really clock it because drinking hasn't come up. So I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. As long as I'm not drinking, we're good. Yeah.
But it's like I've lived a life for 1.5 years or 2 years where I was at complete peace and ease with everything that was happening. And so I know that that's possible for me. And I don't have to exist in a way where I'm just constantly trying to avoid being alone with myself. Right. And like what's great about this is I know that it's all right there. I have all the tools in front of me. Yeah. So that's both my rock bottom and my pink cloud of the week. And my rock bottom right now is how fucking hot it is in this room.
I know.
Yeah, but continue.
Yeah. Can you see me sweating? Can y'all take that out?
Yeah, we'll edit it in post. Don't worry.
Cool. So I'll start with my rock bottom of the week. It was probably yesterday. I was just feeling real. My general feeling of the last month has just been kind of on the downside. Like we was talking about earlier, like I feel like things aren't happening fast enough. Mm-hmm. And my mind keeps telling me, only if I had a car, then life would just be perfect. But like I know that's not true, right? I don't know. I've just been down because I don't even know why I've been down. Yeah. Honestly, I've just been a little depressed. And so I reached out to my old therapist like a week or so ago. She finally got back to me yesterday because I was like, hey, I really need to talk. This was my therapist from the treatment center I went to this last time. And we talked and like she kind of she's like a no bullshit, kind of like your sponsor sounded like. And so I talked to her, and she like just kind of reminded me like this is all normal feelings, you know what I mean? Like, but also reminded me like, dude, we tore our life down over the course I did over the last 10 years. Like, stuff's just not gonna reappear just because we're sober. Like, congrats on 13 months, woohoo, but like, things just aren't gonna, appear right in front of you. It takes work.
Yeah.
And like, God is giving to you what you can handle right now, like a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And from my experience, like when I got everything all at once in sobriety, I was unsuccessful, ultimately. Last time I got a car too fast, I relapsed the week after I got a car, all these things that I'm wanting in the past I've used as like weapons, she said, to like not be sober, like weapons or whatever, a weapon or something. But yeah, so talking to her was probably, and like being brought back down to like ground level, was probably my high. I feel like there was something else, other high though. I don't know. I at the end of the day, like, I'm really grateful for my job, thankful for my job. I love it. I mean, I work 3 days a week. I live in a nice house, for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get paid pretty decent, But yeah, so just being down, that's like this week. I've just been down. But I started working out, me and my coworker. You remember Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my coworker.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Her first day
She
there
would just started, yeah.
was my first day there.
Yeah.
I always remember that. Okay, great. Now this is our final segment, and it's called Close My Tab. And this is where we're closing tabs on the things in our life that we want to let go of. So my Close My Tab this week is going to be trying to arrange all the pawns in my own life to be exactly what I want them to be. And you know what's shitty?
Arrange the what?
All the pawns in my life, like all the different pieces. Like the problem is, like, everything is going well, and I have been so miserable because it feels like I was under the delusion that it was because I was working so hard at keeping everything going well that I have everything going well, and it's miserable. Like, I'm not having fun because I'm so, like, I'm under the delusion that it was me.
Yeah.
And it of course was not, because just like you were saying, things only come to me when, the universe knows that I'm ready to handle them. And right now, I think like I have this vice grip on everything that is important to me. And it's so frightening to think that it could be taken away from me. And it's like I just have to let go of the illusion that I have anything at all, like, and that it was my doing. It's never been in my control.
Yeah.
Nothing has ever been in my control at all. And I think like my big thing that I'm focusing on right now is like letting go of that, because it never existed anyways.
That's pretty deep.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah.
What's your Close My Tab?
Oh, man. I would have to say, just letting go of the idea that just this whole thing that's been like keeping me down lately. Like, I've letting go of the idea like that I deserve stuff during my timetable, or putting like time constraints on certain things that I get back. Because like at the end of the day, when I do that, I just get resentful, kind of down, upset, like very compare-y to other people, and that right there, that's always a letdown,
Yeah.
for me anyway. And just enjoying this process, like this might be the last time that I have to do this. So like just enjoy the journey. You know what I mean? Because like, I sure do hope I don't have to do this shit again.
Yeah.
So like, experience it. Just enjoy it while you're doing, because you're doing it, right? I'm doing it. Yeah. So just enjoy what's going on. Like as uncomfortable as it may be. Just trust the process, enjoy the process, and yeah, it's a lot more better whenever you enjoy it. You know what I mean? And instead of not.
That's my therapist has been telling me a lot lately that I am always like, when this happens, I will feel this way. And that goalpost just moves so quickly once I get the thing that I just said when about.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's like, you think, for example, you think or your whole life you've thought when you get engaged, that's when you'll feel like chosen in this world. And sorry to break it to you, but 60% of people are getting divorced.
Yeah.
That's not going to guarantee you that security that you think it will. And she's like, everything that you think, when this happens, I'll feel this way, it doesn't, because you're not changing anything about you.
Right.
You just get used to the thing and then you want something else. And it's like every fucking day I'm wanting a new thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's like so true for me. I remember like my first job out of treatment, I was working for Amazon. Delivery driving, and like I wanted so bad to come work where I'm working, and I kept calling so and so, hey, can you get me a job? Get me a job. All right, got a job. After a week, I'm like, oh, this job sucks. Like I'm way too qualified. It doesn't pay enough. You know what I mean? Then I got a promotion. Now I'm there, and I'm like, oh man, they keep sending me shit, guys. Like, nobody wants to pay rent over there. I'm in charge of rent. Like, this job is just too much. And, I don't have a car, so like I can't get away from these people at the house. You know what I mean? It don't matter how good something is. I can always find like, something to complain about.
Yeah.
It's just a character defect of mine, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
It's been an honor to have you, and it's really just so wonderful that we both are in a place where I think that we're both very much ourselves, and I don't know, it's cool because we met in a moment where perhaps that was not the case.
Right. Pretty low. We were pretty low. Yeah. No, I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, I enjoy watching you do big things. This is awesome.
Thanks.
The promises are coming true,
And I know your mom's watching. And
is this live?
No.
Oh, hey, Mom.
Why would it be live?
I don't know.
That'd be terrible. No, but I love your mom, and I can't wait for her to watch.
Yeah. I didn't tell her. I was just going to wait for it to come out and be like, hey, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. All right, cool. Well, thanks, everyone, and we'll be here next week on Thursday. Bye.
Can you say smash that like button?